Hello, everybody, and welcome to this brand new episode of Music to Live For with Shanti. I'm your host, Shanti Perpolini, and today with me, Sax&Perc Duo, a project created by Eleonora and Paulina, and together we will explore what does it mean create such a musical project and what does it mean being a musician nowadays. What we're waiting for? Let's go!
Check this out. Music to live for with Shanti.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Music to Live For with Shanti. Today, I'm here with two musicians, currently student in Lucerne, and together, Paulina and Eleonora are the Sax&Perc Duo. Thank you very much to be here as a guest. As a ritual, I'll let you introduce yourself. So I was gonna say, Paulina, would you start introducing yourself?
Yes, of course. Hello. Thank you very much, Shanti, for inviting us.
No
We're
problem.
really happy to be here. And it's also very important for us as a for duo. We just start our first steps also to have some nice podcasts and talk with you. So I am Paulina. I'm coming from Latvia and I'm born in a musician family. My mother is a piano player. So actually, I was forced to play piano since I was like 2 years old. Maybe, of course, I probably also tried it before. I mean, I was playing piano, singing, and then when I turned 9 years old, there was a funny moment. I was just laying on the sofa watching TV, and my mother just entered the room and said, Paulina, we will have saxophone teacher in our music school. You will play saxophone now. And actually, this may be a bit embarrassing, but I didn't know how I was looking saxophone. I mean, I checked it and I was like, oh, okay, it's this one, this golden one. Okay, I will play it. So, like this, my actually love with saxophone started, but since the teacher was coming in the second semester, I started actually with the flute, just to learn fingerings, to learn how to blow, everything. And actually, there was a period, maybe 5 years or 6 years, when I was studying three instruments at the same time. So, actually, that was very good also for me, also for the future, because like this, you can learn a lot about music and how things work and repertory. Now, went after it to study to the capital of Latvia, to Riga. And after my gymnasium, I came to study to Zurich. So I made in Zurich my bachelor studies. And after Zurich, my path led to Brussels, and I made their master performance in the class of Simon Dierig. And then COVID, of course, started. So it was a bit tough to study just because like a lot of lessons were not happening. Then like half year was just like empty. And my plan was always to make two masters in a row. But actually, I was kind of forced and I made the decision to go back to Latvia because who knows? I mean, maybe it will be again lockdown and then I will need to stay and there is no work. So I went to Latvia and I decided, okay, let's try to work there. And it was actually a super, super nice thing what I had in my mind to do that because I started to work in the music gymnasium there. And I also helped a bit in music academy to professor of saxophone. And in Latvia, same as in Switzerland, you really need a pedagogical degree.
Yeah.
So I started to search for it because I thought, okay, good, let's make it in Latvia. But of course, maybe because of COVID or political situation, they just closed this pedagogy master and they make only bachelor. And I was thinking, oh no, but I will not study now bachelor again for years. So I just checked Switzerland because I really wanted to come back. And I found Lucerne. I thought that, okay, that's great opportunity because here pedagogy level is very high. And also teachers are really nice who are teaching saxophones because we have like two teachers in the same class. So 1 week with one teacher, one with another. So like this, I can also learn a lot of different perspectives. And
Nice.
yeah, that's really, really nice. So like this, I came to Lucerne and I'm now here and I met this beautiful lady, Eleonora.
Yes.
Yeah. So now about me a bit. I was born in the middle of Siberia in Russia in Novosibirsk. Yeah, and until 18 years, yeah, I study in a special music lyceum. Also, all my family are musician, and my father is tuba player, and my mother is music theoretic. So they just decided maybe it's something new. It will be something new if I will play percussion, because in this time there was so many work for drummer for percussionists. Yeah, and then yeah, I'm really now I every day so grateful to my parents that they made this choose, and then I moved to Moscow and I studied in Moscow Conservatory, like also 5 years. It's like a bachelor, and then yeah, I had here some friends. They helped me a lot with the documents, and yeah, I decided maybe it's really interesting, something new chapter. It will be my new chapter in my life if I will study here. And now, yeah, I'm here. So this is my way. Yeah,
Yes, and you together, you have a project together, Sax and Perk duo. That's
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, okay. So I think that uh, we I will start to talk about that. So let's start from that. So it's easy then to build a little bit this dialogue and this episode. I'm also a percussionist, but more like more drumming. Let's say I did
Mhm.
also a little bit of xylophones and hand percussions, but the idea is that I just want, when I was younger, I just wanted to play drums and go in more direction. Like, okay, I'm gonna do some punk rock and everything. I love.
Yeah,
It was funny because I was so annoyed by playing paradiddles and everything, and I
yeah.
just learned it.
I
And
can
then
imagine.
I noticed that years later, I was telling, oh, maybe I should have, to pay more attention and this and that, but. I learned a lot of things just playing, going by heart, just like playing. Maybe I was playing with a band, playing that song so many times. Then you try something new and you start seeing, oh, suddenly you got a technique or you feel yourself more comfortable trying something new. And maybe without knowing the right, why or how is written this feel like this but, feeling the percussion, the drumming, and
Yeah.
everything. It's always in this fascinating. But and I need to bring out first to jump into the project itself that I got a very very wonderful memories how I met Paulina because I work with Künstlerhaus Bosville and to meet how can I say it was we had some young conductors coming from different parts of Europe and so they had the chance to compose something for the project or like elaborate already something that we're working on. And they also offered the opportunity to do this it was kind of masterclass, I would say, where you can also, as a musician, come in and work directly with the composer, so create or arriving to the point where the composer will tell you, yeah, I would like you to play this or interpret this score. Like this was more contemporary music. And it for me was very very interesting to witness this. I'm I'm a musicologist, and so everything what happened really behind if I feel always interesting to witness the process behind, let's say, a concert or like in I think that the interesting part of contemporary classical music that composers are still alive, so like you can really see what are the ideas in real time
Mhm.
and then also how they interact with the musicians. And part of this was a 1 week work was really to understand how you communicate with musician, how to express your ideas, and at the same time for the musician how they interpret your music. So and I made a lot of friends there. There's a lot of musicians I met, and I keep following them on social media. And sometimes we met through other project, and that was really a nice moment, yeah, to also for myself to learn more about some specific type of music, because normally I work mostly with orchestra that plays Baroque music, so totally other kind of instruments, other kind of history, period, and vibes too. But going back, how did you decide to create this duo? Combine saxophone and percussions.
It's really amazing situation because we started studies here in 2022 and we didn't know each other until December, yeah, or November. Because our teachers in one day met in a train in a way to Basel, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, they were coming from Basel, I think, to
to Lucerne.
Lucerne. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. So we don't know how, but they decided that it's good idea if we will play together. And then, do you remember? I just remember how I read a message from her professor. It was like, la la la, we have a maybe it's good idea if we will play together with Paulina. And then I started to check her Facebook to answer. And yeah, I just check her.
Profile
Maybe
or not.
it was Instagram or doesn't matter. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, Paulina Pitenko and from Latvia. Maybe she knows Russian also. And I just first my message was I wrote in English, and then she just answered me in Russian. It was yeah, and we just started, and our energy, our it was really match from the first day. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like, I will just add that on that day when my professor was going by train, I just exactly had a saxophone lesson on this day. So he just entered to the room, we started to talk a bit, and he said, I was going today with Pascal Pons in the same train with the professor. And he was telling about his new student from Russia. She's super good. And then I was like, yeah, and I also have a new student, and I would love that they play one piece by Luis Naon. Like it was Alto Vol Tango. It was our project, you know. It
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
piece which made us to be together. And they both decided, yeah, it would be nice if they play chamber music and exactly this piece.
Yeah.
So like I said, yeah, of course, why not? But at this moment, I was planning a lot of competitions, and I was thinking in my head, yeah, I have so many things, but no, but I always wanted to play with percussion. No, I will of course say yes. And then it was like the best decision what happened. Really.
Oh, that's also something so amazing when this kind of connection happens, because sometimes you don't really know, only interact with other students for many reasons, and then yeah, but then if there are other people, like in this case also your teachers, also felt not just you as a musician but as a person, say, oh, I think that maybe the way they think, so the way they are as a person could match. I think this is a good chance. Like you can really try to start something new, and this is what happened. But something that very interests me is the fact to understand there is already like repertoire of music written, of contemporary, at least contemporary music written specifically for saxophone and percussion, or you are adapting yourself, your pieces.
So yeah, no, we have we do a lot of arrange.
Arrangements, yeah,
Yeah, but we have not so many pieces really original for our instruments.
yeah.
It's maybe 15
I
pieces.
mean, no,
Yeah,
I mean, of course, it's much more
yeah,
pieces.
okay.
I mean, we did research. There are a lot of pieces, but I mean, we want to be diverse as we can, because I mean, there are so many opportunities with percussion instruments and also with the saxophone and different saxophones, like what we can make, like long phrasings, also to show so many different styles, and also. Uh, we want really to show this duo to a very big amount of audience, and that's why we also want to include a lot of classical repertoire, also baroque, also arrangements what we make by ourselves, because like this is also a bit easier to integrate contemporary music, like something new into
Yeah.
the concert world and everything. Yeah.
Yes, because for about what is percussions in contemporary classical music, I know quite a lot because I work for logistic for orchestra like Sinfonietta Basel, and so I also understood a little bit better what like many composer through the years also wanted from like percussion dynamics and everything, and they use all specific ways like using string bows on a
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
on a cymbals. Like it just for me was kind of new, or like the and then I remember working at the Davos Festival, and this was 2020, so we were like in a special situation because it was half of Europe almost was on lockdown, but we had a lot of musicians coming in for this festival, and at that time there was this saxophone quartet that was called Sabian Quartet, I think, or from but it was from the school in Zurich, and I personally, I was no saxophone, just from music like jazz or and some ska, just you really use in a melodic way, and then they start using it like dynamics, a lot of dynamics through like long notes with dynamics and breathe technique and everything, or more rhythmic. And this was very, very fascinating to see because so you can play that instrument like this, or you can create something new with this instrument, and maybe in your mind it just sounds in a certain ways. So and I think this combination, of course, it's definitely interesting. And I really respect, and I really like your ideas of, okay, we know that there is already somebody writing music or like proposing this, but we want to create our own, like because as from your let's say biography till now, you see, you study, you have a lot of experiences, and now you are taking in your hands what you want to do, and you know Paulina, you sent me before this episode kind of a small resume of your project, and I was really really astonished to see uh, the prizes you won, and the contest you take part on, and um this is also something that I think older musician, and I got many young musicians listen to this podcast, so I think this part could be quite interesting for them. Like for you, or like nowadays, let's say for you as a musician, but also in relation of the world of music nowadays, how is important to be part of this kind of contest, or to like try to reach these prizes?
Oh, I mean, as a duo, and especially for us because our formation is quite unusual, and it's difficult, for example, to inscribe us to the, I don't know, string quartet festival or something like
Of
this, because
course.
like it's more opportunities for them. Of course, like if you want to go fast and if you really want to promote yourself, for us it was a great opportunity that we could participate in Orpheus competition, because if you get a prize there, then you have a really great opportunity to participate in Swiss Chamber Music Festival, where you
Hmm.
can play solo concert, you know. And there are not so many competitions actually which are providing you with concerts or festivals, but this one is like, I think, really, really good for chamber music, because this is like a biggest event why you really go there, you participate, you enjoy, you play. And also what is interesting that after, if you get a prize and you have opportunity to be in this festival, you when you inscribe yourself, you need to write three Swiss
Hmm.
composers, because they really really support Swiss new music, what is
Yes, yes.
actually super super great. Then the composer whom we choose, and after jury chooses, then this composer will work with us and create a new piece, what is also really great for actually ensemble and also for composer, of course, because like we have a nice work together. So I guess if you choose smartly, you know, competitions with the nice prizes which really help you, and the great organization, because like organization there is so lovely, they really support us, like all of the groups who participate in competition, they are like a part of the family, you know.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
like it's really healthy, you know. So I mean, for us it really worked well. And about solo competitions, I don't know what do you want to say, Eleonora?
And I also want to say thank you to our first competition because they also provide percussion instruments. It's also
Oh,
for me
yeah.
it's so important, yeah, because in this year it was in Bern, and they provide me all instruments which I need.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will just say a small thing. Actually, it's true. Like, it's not that easy with percussion because we are always like we find competitions, and very often the percussion is not written even inside, so we cannot inscribe ourselves. Or there is not duo, for example, because it's also something special, like only
Yeah.
two people. Like ensemble maybe can be from three. And now we wanted to inscribe for competition in Torino because we found and we've thought, oh, okay, it's nice. We have all the program and percussion is written inside, and then we write them. Hello, do you have like this and these instruments? We just have
Yeah.
we just make a list, and they say, sorry, you need to bring your instruments.
Yeah.
And we're
Yeah.
like,
From Lucerne
Yeah.
to Torino.
and imagine if there are some people, I don't know, coming from Japan, let's say, how they will bring
Yeah.
their instruments.
That's definitely an important point. But just going back to one thing you say that you find very healthy and nice, that those who organize this competition are really coming into your direction. It's just like this is also interesting. I think that I mean I now I try to set myself like in the position of our young musicians, really willing to go in that direction. Maybe you feel insecure like this. And many situation maybe you can have the sensation to be on your own, so to whom you should talk. But it's nice to see that those kind of organization and prizes, they really want you to feel welcome, like okay, we organize some music and we provide also for that. And it's not it's I think it's important to say that, because I see this also when it happens to me to be on tour with some band, but also with some orchestra, where you go somewhere and you sent already the information you need for the stage setup and everything. And then I arrive there. Normally, I arrive always earlier than the orchestra and other colleagues. And I see that nobody really cares about you sent per email and everything. So this creating the whole process of like creating also not just for a prize, but also for or a contest, but also for a concert in general, create always this kind of stress that you don't need as a musician. So feeling yourself more supported is definitely an amazing thing. And so for a young musician out there, but musician in general, just really inform yourself what are the opportunity for you, how these people can help you, and what you can do for you to have the opportunity to go on stage and propose your music and your project. Talking about what you say about touring, I used to tour in the last 2 years. I can say that I tour a lot through Europe. I saw different countries and the way they think. And I know that Italy is a little bit, sadly, a country with such a huge history for classical music. It seems to almost forget a little bit what does it take to allow this kind of arts to happen. And the problem is that you may find the instruments on the place, like but you don't know the quality, you don't know, this is. And if you take from Switzerland, because Switzerland, for those who don't know, is a country in the middle of Europe, but we are dealing in different ways with Europe. And one of the things that is so not easy is bring more instruments outside the country. Because if it's I just explained for the listeners, like if you bring your violins with you got with you, and there is a border control, you can always say, "This is my violin." Yes, I know that some musicians also keep a document from the Geigenbauer, I mean the person who made the instruments, or like an official order document, or just I mean, for some kind of instrument is so expensive, then it doesn't really exist a receipt, but they can show that this is your instrument. But when you brings out, like for other musicians, other listeners that are percussionists, they know how many bags is a marimba, or you need this and that xylophone, and then some tam tam and everything, the stands and everything. You should make the so-called carne ATA, and you need really to subscribe everything you got, the price, and then you go to take a stamp on that and then show that at the border. So it's really a process. There is like a lot of works to do behind that. And if you are doing that yourself. Of course, it's extra work for you, but also it's important to have that if you have like a third person doing the transport, like myself. I do this for some project, and I receive from the office all the papers, but it's a lot of work. So I understand that of course, for Paulina will be more easy having one or two saxophone with her,
Yeah, even
and
with four, it would be probably easier.
yeah, I think that
So
there
many
is
instruments.
because sometimes you have people in that jobs like border controls that are kind of open-minded, or they knew the situation, and other they just don't really get it. Why you should go to Italy with four instruments, like this. So this is an interesting point, the fact that it comes the maybe the opportunity to have to participate to concert or prizes outside the country where you are, but
Mhm.
having hard times to find a practical solution and
Exactly,
having
because there is
yeah.
also opportunity to rent somewhere, but it's also maybe you spend more money as you win, at the end. So you also need
Yes,
to think
yes.
about this.
Yes, and also having people able to handle the instruments. Like I'm kind of I'm when I work with some colleagues of mine, I always hire people that I know that they know what they're doing because small anecdote, I did a tour in Spain at the end of August, and we needed a fortepiano. So, and it was summer, so we couldn't bring that from Germany because we haven't any van with cool system. So the instrument have two different type of temperature and humidity is definitely no good. So we found there is people in Spain having a lot of Baroque instruments, but once again, the quality of instruments. So um, my colleagues packed the instrument in Barcelona, and we arrive at the concert hall. We met there, and with me was a good friend of mine. Shout out to Niklaus from Freiburg. He's one of the amazing um, um, cembalo builder. They make instrument their own, and he's a great tuner. He know what he's doing, and he went there. He looked at me. He looked at the instruments, and he say, "Check this out." And he showed me at some part of the instrument, and me not paying of the and not knowing much about this kind of instrument itself, I could say, this instrument is not in a good physical,
Uh-huh.
situation. Like there was a one of the we couldn't like fit one of the five legs. It was just broken, and we couldn't fit that
Mhm.
under. And then some strings of the instruments were like you could see that it was like rusty, like somebody didn't really keep properly the instruments in storage. So this is I tell you this because I understand, this kind of difficulties, just and this but this kind of experience shouldn't like stop you as a musicians like to say, I know I really want to do that, but it's something that nowadays you need to start thinking, even knowing that you have even more higher goals and at the horizon what will come. So but you personally, I talk about being maybe nervous, but you as a musician, how is your when you have to go on stage, maybe as a solo player, but even when you're working as a duo, how is your feeling being on stage? Are you still having this kind of being nervous, or like with the time it comes like more easy,
Of
I know what
course.
I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just want to say for everyone that you will be always more
Yeah.
nervous. Like it doesn't finish. Doesn't matter how many times you go on the stage.
Yeah, we are nervous, I think, before,
Yeah.
yeah, and we have one traditional before 1 second before we are going to stage.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we are artists, we are amazing girls, we are artists. Let's go, Paulina. But we are so nervous in this time, and first seconds before my first note, I also so nervous, and then when I play first note, then I just I don't know, my brain just
You
I can't
yeah, you focus on really
control it.
you
Yeah.
see, you realize that it's real, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
remember playing with a band, and you normally you put like an intro, and as a drummer you are one of the first that go on stage, and I was sitting down on my drum set, and I was like Oh my God, you started, but then you start doing like the classic that
Yeah.
he had, like, and just going. And I remember also that the first like time you start playing, and then just you just go, you are there, you realize that you are there. And I think it's also your mind that's before it just float everywhere, like what everything can go wrong, and start thinking this and that. But then you realize, no, I'm here and I'm
Yeah.
doing. I mean, I posed this question because it's one of the question I ask the most because I think it's always important, so because classical music, it seems to me like one of these scenario where the audience sometimes doesn't have like doesn't really understand what happened on stage. Like, of course, you see the orchestra, you see the soloist, the conductor, but sometimes there is always this distance kind of between audience and artist. So it's also interesting to see and to listen to the artists themselves explaining, hey, what are the feelings I have while on stage. And it's not about saying you are good or bad. It's just being
Mhm.
human beings. I mean, arts is made of feelings. And we are that heart. This is something that maybe nowadays is forgotten. That's is our human beings are making arts, whatever it's music or painting, literature, and everything. But so it's what I call the positive challenge. Like that you need to deliver something or you want to deliver something, but you feel this kind of the
Mhm.
stress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were just discussing with Eleonora a few days ago that actually we really love to play concerts for a bit smaller group of audience, like maybe 70, 80
Hmm.
people, because like this, as you said, you really can connect to the audience and after you can talk and it's more familiar, like it's really a really nice atmosphere.
Yes.
But actually, I wanted to say something funny about Eleonora.
Yeah. Please share.
But it is before we go on the stage, I need to say that she's like a ninja, you know? It's incredible because I can just look somewhere and when I look at her back, she's just not there. She's like having like ultra extra speed, like she's changing all of the positions like really fast. I
You
don't know, she's just much faster in the brain.
Yeah, it's my really big problem because I can focus. I maybe I can focus only 15 minutes on one thing. So before a concert, it's my stress on a high level, and then
Hmm.
I just started to do so many things so fast, and then I think about, okay, now makeup, now hairs, and la la la, and yeah, so that's why I could be everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
This is
I
for me
hope to have the.
amazing.
No, I just hope to have the chance to see you also playing lives once, so I can also have not opportunity to listen to you, but also observe you as a musician. That it's important that I think I notice also sometimes we plays with so very wonderful and instruments like when clavicembalo where it's very good painted, and after the concert while I'm on stage bringing the stuff back and everything ready to go to the next concert, there's a lot of people willing to come on stage or asking question about the instrument. And I think this is so important because you see that there is curiosity, there is interest, like, and it's like sometimes I was on tour with a band and I was like standing behind the stage and talking with the band, and there was some of people in the audience starting talking with my colleagues, and like, and people come to you and say, but I'm not a musician. I say, that's all right. I mean, we need just people that just enjoy the music. And it seems that when people come talk to some of my friends soloists like this, they have to be like say that, oh, I know what you do, or I know more. But in the end, I always find so nice when some person just come and ask, hey, what's the name of that instrument? So how does it, I saw you through the concert, the way you moved and everything. And it's so important this, right? Because you, I think also for you as a musician, that means that the audience of course listen to your music, but also you had this presence also.
Yeah.
And then this is like communicating between people, like sometimes you notice that if the communication, it could be like in a friendship, in a relation, or at work, even you as a duo, you may notice this, that always important to communicate. And this is also this communication between audience and the musician, because even that people, even if they don't know really about the composer who wrote the pieces, but they enjoy the music, people gonna talk good about you, about your interpretation. And this is what we need, people going to, because um I talk a lot about on this podcast about the topic social media, the way somebody should present themselves. And this is also topics that many fellow musicians comes to me and ask, "Hey, Shanti, can you just give me some advice, some direction?" And I say, I'm not an expert, because I also struggle a lot to decide what should I show about my job as a stage and tour manager, with the goal to be having people hire me, but also getting more interest in what I'm doing. And there is a lot of things like that you could do. And some of people tell me, "Oh, I love when you post this video, the time lapse when you build a stage." Like I did a video where I built a marimba, very easy going. Like I put that phone and then just building, and we go faster, and you put the music, that's it. But the fun fact is that I remember starting like four time building a marimba, because I always did something wrong and I didn't want to cut it. So you go back and you say, okay, I restart this and then, but the fact that I don't have always the time to set my phone and film myself doing my job, and this is also, I don't know, how is your how you deal with the social media story, because nowadays it's part of our reality. It's, if you want to be reachable, if you want to show who you are, what you're doing, you need to be at least at one social media. And how is your opinion on that? Because this is very interesting, because I notice there is a lot of struggling.
Yeah, now we we started to improve our Instagram. So we have Instagram page, and it's really big work, because we really like to shoot some fun videos for Instagram Reels, yeah. And we also have so many double.
Yeah, cuts, like, I don't know.
Yes, yeah, like you say. Yeah, so maybe after one 20 seconds video, we have more than 20 videos in our in phone. Yeah, so now we work in Instagram, and also we started to improve our YouTube channel.
Yeah, because as you said, it's like super important, because like um we are new. We're just, it's our, like, we are together 2 years now. So at the beginning, of course, we didn't have any social media, and people actually, they knew us only in our school, and like direction knew us because we were playing in some events of school. And like, how can we present us to another institutions, for example, if we don't have any material, let's be honest, like any good quality material, what is actually super important nowadays. And we were a really long time thinking about making Instagram, but somehow we didn't, because we were also too new, and like we were thinking, yeah, maybe it's better if we are posting from our Instagrams, like it will be better. And but now when you see that sometimes you have applications even for competitions, and they are now really asking for Instagram, they're asking really for your YouTube, and you can just not make it now and send to them with having only one video, they're like, you
Yes,
really need to work
yes.
on it and have already some portfolio with things what you're doing. And also, like, why we also started now to work intensively on YouTube, because we have quite a lot of audience who is using YouTube, and they are asking, oh, can you please send to us your links, or where can we listen to you on Spotify? And we are standing like, yeah, in the future you can
Yeah,
change
I
our
understand
names.
that. Yeah.
So yes, now, like, as you say, it's like we love doing it what is good, because we really like to film, we have nice ideas, but it's of course taking a lot of time. Second, we have percussion instruments. We cannot take them out and, I don't know, record a video on the rooftop
Yeah.
or somewhere in the nature, you know,
No.
like to make the
So many
content
ideas,
for
and
people.
yeah, we can.
It's just super difficult. It's also not so good for the instruments probably to take them out so many times, you know, to disassemble and everything. And yeah, it really takes a lot of time. I mean, we just started. Let's see how it goes. But
But I also noticed because I struggle a lot as in the beginning, because I was always compare myself to what you see normally scrolling on whatever Instagram, for example, and you know, as you said, people just helping a YouTube channel. It's also just interesting, like having like having a record of what you're doing, what you're playing, and everything. It doesn't have to be every time the video perfect cut and everything. You just but having some records, and because when you start looking those kind of everybody try to sell their method to become the perfect influencer. I personally don't give a shit about that. You know, like I just want to reach people. I know that most of my audience just listen to the podcast on Spotify, so they don't even watch the channel on YouTube. But it's I know that it's okay, it's good because um, another part of audience or in certain part of the world, people are more used to using Facebook or people are most to using X Twitter or like on YouTube. So it's like offer to more audience the opportunity to reach out to you and
exactly.
uh, and then it happens. For example, I had a good friend of mine that is a video maker. He offered me like a project. I did an interviews with a band, and we were like professional podcasting, you know, like in a nice setting, sitting all together, different cameras.
So nice.
Um, and it was an interesting experience, but I don't think that I would like to move in something like this 100%, for example, you know, like because as you said, it takes time and you need time to practice, you need time to do research, you need time to have a life.
Yeah.
And so it's always this kind of decide, hey, wait, where I'm going, what I want, but I think that everybody needs to find their own balance, but it's hard but true. But it's a reality. It's a tool to all the listen, all musician artists out there. Social media just a tool. It won't be your life. Your career is not what people see on social media, but it's just a window on what you're doing. So
Mm.
I
But
think
I think it's
you will find
also
your balance for sure.
well, this is the thing because we still need to find it because what I wanted to say that it's a bit like a virus, you know, especially when you start because you cannot imagine how many times we are just like practicing a bit and we're like, okay, let's go to sit on the sofa. We sit on the sofa with our phones and then we are checking how many views do we have, which country is looking us the most, you know, like, oh, we got a comment. Hey, what can we do that our reel see more people? Why they don't see our Scarlatti? Like, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
this was like for the last week.
Mhm.
It's crazy what is doing to your brain, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because I did some episode in Italian, that is my mother tongue,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and but I didn't. I think maybe now YouTube can translate almost directly thanks to AI or in a way that people can understand. And I'm gonna record an episode that I know is gonna be in French because I speak more better French than German, honestly. But I know it's gonna be like a mix, like Canadian French, like where is a mix in between English and French. But I think thinking of you, you know, can do easily in English and maybe some episode or maybe some explanation could be just directly for a Russian speaking
Yeah.
audience, you know, just to see that you are open in more direction, you know, like and I think always people when you try to speak their own a specific language or try to communicate in that way, they feel like more not accepted but more part of the whole things, you know,
Mhm.
once again feeling welcoming to something and um but it's always an experiment, you know,
Mm.
and of course, you know, I was thinking there where you are going to school, there is the rehearsal room from the Lucerne Symphony Orchestra, and to
Mhm.
have this wonderful window where you see the
Yeah.
Alps in the behind. Something like this could be just already something cool as a scenario to do something, But
Yeah.
uh, it's just the opportunity are. But yeah, once again, time and of course, there is the talk about money, that it's always something, because sometimes I think a good investment would be like, hey, at least one video we do a professional production,
Mhm.
let's say. And this is always interesting, even in the I suppose that at the school in Luzern there is also the repart for video making. Or I know that in Zurich, you have music,
In Zurich, yes.
Yes,
art. In
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Luzern, no, it's
No.
just
We have
music.
sound engineers here, that's for
Ah,
sure.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, yeah, because I know that some people can like do one end help the other, like you
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to
of
build
course.
something together. This could be also in the beginning, try to find a good collaboration, a positive compromise, not because it's time for both that goes into such project. But if there is a good video, it's good advertising for you. If the video is well made, it's advertising for the guys who did the video or woman who did the video. So, it's important. I have a one more serious question, and it's you as women. How is did you have any hard times, like getting taken serious in what you're doing, or like even taking this project serious, or it seems that till now, thankfully, things are going good. Um, but just focusing to the fact that you are two women playing the instruments and propose your own music.
I mean, in Latvia, I need to say, because I don't know if you know this fact, we are more women in the country as men. And I actually have never felt any problems.
Hmm.
I was always playing quite a lot of projects. Like also, it was not a problem like to in the competitions to win some places because you never felt like it was really because of the level everything was
Hmm.
fetched. So there everything was good. But of course, when I came to study to Switzerland, you start to feel, but not actually in my direction so much, but in general because
Hmm.
like we were also talking today to Eleanor, because of voting, because of salaries, like you start to learn a bit about situation, what is around,
Yeah.
like how fast it's integrated, for example, here. Then you start to understand that, of course, now I get why, for example, there's feminism or things like this, like which maybe in my country were not so developed. We talk about it, but not so much as here, for example.
Hmm. Hmm.
And only what I can say about the saxophone, of course, there is more men playing saxophone, and it has always been like this. But now, like for example, if you take Lucerne class, we have only two guys in our class, three, like, and then the rest are girls. So, like, actually, it's like coming to the balance.
Hmm.
But I mean, there are not no any proofs and anything about the competitions, but like what I can say, what is a bit weird, and a lot of people talk about it, that in the last maybe 3 years, in our highest level competitions in the saxophone world, any girl was anytime in the finals, for example. And I don't know if it's because of that or not. Nobody knows that, but it's also a bit strange because there is not
Hmm.
so big difference between participants, like of percentage, how many are guys and how
I
many are
see,
girls.
I see, I see, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
But in the percussion world, we actually just don't have so many girls. Yeah. For me, the percussion is I have one really big problem. It's really hard to transport instruments with my hands. Yeah. And here I was really surprised when I moved to Switzerland, when I just started to transport from one room to another, to concert hall, or yeah, so many boys, men's, just watched to see at me, and they didn't help, because for me it was so strange in Russia. Every boy, every woman, every girl will help you if you
Hmm.
do something really hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a
Yeah, that's
problem.
nowadays is a little bit tricky because uh I noticed this working in the logistics. So that part where instruments are transported. That would be my job, like, and I have so amazing colleagues, women colleagues, but like in some project, like, I always use these texts because I think this is what about Switzerland. It's important to talk openly about some kind of topics, about putting that the respect goes to everybody. And we see that there is this stigma, but there is also this reality about the fact that for Switzerland, women they never been really on the same level of men. Just to be clear, women can vote just since 1970 or
Yeah.
1973. So, it's like when you think about that, it's not so far away. So that means already something. And I personally used to do like this. I just see this, I just observe the situation and may ask, do you need some help? I just don't want to be like the kind of guy, hey, yeah, let's do this or like this, but I think that it's more like maybe as in my nature as a person in general,
Mhm.
beside the sex or the gender of the person, like try to see how you need some help, because I think, yeah.
I think we would be just happy with Eleonora if guys come to us and say, "Can we help you?" Well, yeah, of course, do everything.
Yes, yeah. For me, it's just strange. Why I should I have to ask, could you please help me? For me, it's a
Mhm.
normal. It's yeah.
Yeah, it's more instinctive. I understand what you're saying. I understand, and um, I have some different kind of experiences, and I have to be honest with you, and it's something that I try to speak even more, but without putting that like on a political level, like, but just to, um, being a person of color, working in classical music is not easy sometimes because there's people that still have prejudice. Like sometimes they see me with tattoos or like I'm not going like just wearing, I don't know, should somebody wear like doing this kind of job, but they see me, I have hearings and the lobes like this, they say more like I don't know. It seems that's more becoming from another kind of music like this, but they don't expect that I have my know-how and my experience sometimes, and even from older men. And I know there is really this even verbally conflict. People don't talk to me unless they really need, you know? And that, oh, so you are the stage manager, or so you are the tour manager, or I was at the airport and I was on tour with the orchestra, and I was in charge of everything. And I go for the ticket because we have an early entrance to the airplane because we have the instrument. And the guy stopped me, say, "Where are you going?" I say, I'm the manager, but he has to come like the one of the guys telling the guy, hey, he's our manager. And this is just to say, society is not easy at all. Um, I think amazing what you're doing, your project and everything, but I also understand that even if we don't want, sometimes we try not to see because we think, no, come on, we are all friends or we are all like
Mhm.
but in the end there is this kind of conflict and this reality and yeah, sometimes it's kind of frustrating, but I really hope that with the time people just understand that it's once again is a communication between person and in this case also between colleagues and everything. But yeah, I think that now the biggest question is, of course, the audience have to go and check this out, your Instagram. That will put all the information in the description of the episode so they can reach out to you if they're interested to have even more question or listen to what you're doing. But what plans? We are recording this episode on the 8th of December 2024. So the next year is there. Here we are. So we can already have like a sneak peek or what would be your plans for 2025. Yeah, 25. Yeah.
Mhm. First of all, we would like to collaborate with new composers
Mhm.
to improve our repertoire. The second thing,
I mean, also it's very nice for me would be if we work with some Latvian composers because I'm from Latvia and we already reached out. Also, one dear friend of me, Artur Žurmin, and he will write a nice piece. And we are waiting for it. Like it will also come out next year. So that's nice that we will have also
Mhm.
another piece from different countries.
Yeah, second thing, to make more professional videos. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Or
is kind of thing on what we are really working
yeah,
a lot now. Like because we almost meet our like we meet every day and we try to record some things and we feel that we have so much, but then we realize like for example, oh okay, actually we didn't have any concert in December, but like we are just all the time doing things, but for the for the social media, for
yeah,
example,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, the videos, like this is really what we would like to do because we have so much program and we want to show it to the audience
Mm-hmm.
and we
Mm-hmm.
really need to record because like we really enjoy and we like our versions.
Nice. Oh yeah. So there's a lot going on, and it's great to see that this is definitely a project that will evolve even once again, and even more. And you are thinking to stay a couple of years again here in Switzerland, based in Switzerland, because of course project can works even if somebody living in other
yeah.
places and everything, of course. But now that you started it is here. Are you thinking to stay here a little bit again, or you are already planning to see?
Yeah, I will finish my master in this year, but I will try to take a second master, like solo performance as like Paulina. Also,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, um, and but okay, we have only 1 year. Yeah.
No, but I mean, this is why we are working so intense now because, like, as you said, there are so many groups which are working really well and
Mm-hmm.
they can just meet for a few days and then play a concert. But for this, you really need a really long process before to reach it
Mm-hmm.
out, to find your musical ideas, to know how you work together, to write
Mm-hmm.
a program, to create transcriptions. And if you have all of this base, then I think in the future, like in the like if we have now these 2 years to focus on this, then in the future, if I'm, for example, I don't know, in Latvia and Eleonora somewhere else, like maybe in some
Yeah.
orchestra somewhere, we will always can meet and create
Mm-hmm.
something fast because we will already have, these
Yeah.
small things around what we already did.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. Now you're here, you kind of seize the day and try to make the possible you can now that you're really side by side, live in the same city and the same country. But yeah, constancy and keep doing what you're doing, what you like. I think it's the best tactics and will bring, of course, the best results. Like, like just not just giving up because some difficulty, but we all know that sometimes times getting hard. But I think the motivation coming from what art's giving us like is incredible. Like sometimes I'm after I finish a tour, I come home and I'm happy to be here, but you're missing like being on the road or being around
Mm-hmm.
around people that I don't know, there is this kind of really nice balance and influence, and but then that okay, it will come next for sure, it will come back and we will have time again. And one thing just to put to the others, and that's great. um Eleonora, Paulina, I think we are getting to close this episode. I've personally, it was so interesting to talk to you, understand better how your project is built, and I'm glad that we talk about the process behind the way you interpret it, and you want to create your own sound, your own music, and your productions. That's what motivates not just myself as a podcaster and a musicologist, but also I notice also the audience also always looking for this kind of inspiration, and hearing this verbally from the art itself is always so important. And once again, all the information about your duo will be present in the description of the episode. And I really hope that people gonna start contact you. As I said, even just for question, about how you get through that, oh, this idea come from, but also to offer you or a concert. So to all the promoters, to all the people that have like new festivals and looking for new ideas, don't sleep on these wonderful women, wonderful musicians,
Yeah.
because they can really give you an amazing concert, amazing ideas. The audience will be for sure happy. thank you very much to be part of Music to Live for
Thank
with
you,
Thank you
Shanti.
very
Shanti.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for this
I'm very
conversation.
very glad. As I said, I met Paulina a couple of years ago. I'm glad we kept in contact. And
Yeah,
this
me
is for
too.
me is a lot one of the things that I love of my job. Like the fact that as I said, I decided to play an instrument but keep it that as a hobby. So I decided to go into more history and philosophy of music through my studies, and then I do more technical work on stage. I love that, like having the chance to hear more people sharing what they're doing, and this was also the goal of the podcast because for the people listen to Music to Live for with Shanti for the first time, is that the goal of my project was like how many things I've learned talking to people through these last 10, 11 years, beside what you study, beside what you learn from books and school, let's say. And so I wanted to give this approach to the podcast itself. Yeah, let's talk about our project. Let's talk about music. Let's see the human situation, the human experience, because I think it's the one of the best teacher somebody can have. And of course, your life experience, the fact you come from other countries, coming to Switzerland, how you evolve and everything can just bring new ideas. So thank you very much,
Thank
and
you,
Thank you.
Shanti.
hope to see you soon on stage. Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.